Hello and welcome to Matador News. I'm Jose Saenz.
And I'm Randi. An American arrested and detained in North Korea is on his way home. Jeffrey Pfau was arrested in May for leaving a Bible in his hotel room. White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest says the Defense Department arranged for Pfau's transportation home. Earnest says the department is happy with his release, but is still focused on the two other Americans detained in North Korea.
Jeffrey Pfau has been allowed to depart the DPRK and is on his way home to rejoin his family. We certainly welcome the decision from the DPRK to release him. While this is a positive decision by the DPRK, we remain focused on the continued detention of Kenneth Bay and Matthew Miller.
The status of Bay and Miller's imprisonment in North Korea is still unknown.
A Dallas college is rejecting applications from West African students because of Ebola. An official at Navarro College says they aren't accepting international students from any countries with confirmed Ebola cases and have turned away at least 2 Nigerian students. The school may need to change its policy after the World Health Organization announced on Monday that Nigeria is Ebola-free. The country's outbreak is over after no new cases have been found in 42 days. A WHO official also announced that doses of an experimental Ebola vaccine may be available for testing in West Africa as soon as January. There has not been any outbreak in the U.S. yet, and LA city officials are working to ensure there will not be one. The city council is meeting today to discuss the best practices to protect the public from the virus.
South African Olympian Oscar Pistorius has been sentenced to 5 years in prison for the killing of his girlfriend last year. Judge Thokozile Masipa cleared the so-called Blade Runner of murder, but did charge him for other things.
Count 1, culpable homicide. The sentence imposed is a maximum imprisonment of 5 years where there is negligence involving the use of
The judge also gave Pistorius a 3-year sentence on a firearm charge, but if he isn't found guilty of another crime involving a weapon in the next 5 years, it will be suspended. The double amputee sprinter will have to serve at least 10 months in prison before he can ask to be placed under correctional supervision instead.
ISIS has released a new video. The video the terrorist group uploaded today shows that what appears to be American-made weapons that were airdropped into territory ISIS controls. If genuine, this would be a dangerous misfire in the American mission to get help to Kurdish forces making their stand in Kobani. The authenticity of the video has not yet been confirmed.
A Long Beach man has been arrested in connection with the fatal stabbing of CSUN student Abdullah Al-Qadi. The LAPD says the murder occurred last month during a robbery and carjacking. Al-Qadi had posted a Craigslist ad selling his Audi A6 for more than $30,000. The 23-year-old engineering student had been missing for more than a month when his body was discovered along the 10 freeway in Palm Desert.
Matador News reporter John Salas is live on campus with more on the story.
Thank you, guys. Los Angeles Chief of Police Charlie Beck says Al-Qaeda's death is a tragedy and warned the public to be aware when using online sites to sell anything, as it can lead to unwanted people in your lives. Some students at CSUN say they will continue to use Craigslist only if they were to meet the opposing party in public.
It's like not their house or something, because that's too shady.
I wouldn't meet anyone at my house or at their house. I would meet them at our location, I guess the safe zone.
I would make sure to not use Craigslist to do personal interactions or go places where I don't know very much about.
I'll probably have to do it somewhere public so a lot of people see the transaction.
I would probably, if I were to meet them somewhere, I'd make it a public area and take someone with me. I wouldn't go by myself. But there's still a lot of good people on Craigslist. I personally use Craigslist to sell books from school, so I don't see anything wrong with it.
CSUN City Council Representative Mitch Englander says if something does not feel right, it probably is not right, and to leave the area or report it to police. John Salas, back to you guys in the newsroom.
Schools across the northeastern area in Pennsylvania are on lockdown today due to possible sightings of an accused cop killer. Yesterday afternoon, a regional police officer reported seeing an armed man dressed in green near a school campus. Deputy Commissioner of Operations George Bivens says the man is believed to be infamous cop killer Eric Frayne.
Was reported in the area of the Pocono Mountain East High School. The individual's description was consistent with Frayne and he was observed carrying a rifle.
Authorities describe Eric Frayne as an anti-government survivalist. He is accused of an ambush last month at a state police barracks where he left one officer dead and another seriously wounded. The hunt for Frayne initiated in the woods near his parents' home and has moved near school campuses.
The number of Central American children and families crossing to the border are at a year-long low. Customs and Border Protection say the number of unaccompanied minors stopped at the border is down to 77% since June. The number of families stopped at the border also fell sharply. Government officials say the recent drop is because of the hotter weather.
Tennessee State Senator Jim Somerville continues to make headlines with his controversial actions. He was arrested twice over the weekend for stalking and threatening his neighbor. The neighbor says the senator watches her every minute she is in her house. She also says Somerville throws toilet paper on her front porch and shines flashlights at people coming in and out of her house. This is not the senator's first run-in with the law. Somerville was arrested just 1 month ago for public intoxication.
The dangers of online dating are proven once again after a woman was discovered inside the chimney of a man's home. The woman met the owner of the home online, and the two had gone on a few dates. The woman said his first warning sign came 2 weeks ago when he spotted the woman on his roof. The Ventura Police Department rescued the woman by dismantling the chimney brick by brick. She was taken to the hospital for evaluation and then arrested for illegal entry and providing false information. The homeowner said he hopes the woman will get help in addition to staying offline.
Now let's toss it to Briseida with the latest in business.
Thank you, Randi. People are able to use their iPhones to make purchases in stores and online starting this week. Apple is moving people toward a wallet-free mobile payment with the launch of Apple Pay. So far, more than 200,000 payment terminals are accepting it, along with 24 popular retail chains. Other businesses will make it available by the end of the year. However, not all banks are supporting Apple Pay, and some cards will be excluded. Instructions on how to use it, supporting banks, and security are available on Apple's website. Apple is also showing strong stocks resulting from sales of the latest iPhone, gaining 2.6% and beating analyst expectations. At last check, the Dow Jones was also up 180 points and now at 16,580 points. Unemployment rates are down in 31 states in September. The jobless rate nationally was down to 5.9%, with Nevada showing the biggest improvement. This is the final unemployment rate report before November 4th elections. The economy is voters' top concerns in this year's race. Now let's toss it to Katherine Murillo, who has information on health.
Thank you, Briseida. With the November 4th midterm elections approaching, the campaign trail is as fierce as ever. One of the more costly campaigns in California has been Prop 46, which has pitted lawyers and doctors against each other. The ballot measure would raise a cap on some medical malpractice damages and require drug testing of doctors. It has faced much opposition from medical providers and insurers. A groundbreaking medical treatment has given a paralyzed man the ability to walk again. The procedure involved transplanting cells from his nasal cavity into his spinal cord. The Bulgarian man was paralyzed from the chest down in a knife attack in 2010. He can now walk using a frame. The treatment, a world first, was carried out by surgeons in Poland in collaboration with scientists in London. Now we'll take it back to Briseida with entertainment.
Thank you. Oscar de la Renta died last night in his Connecticut home at age of 82. De la Renta dressed first ladies, socialites, and many actresses for 5 decades. He was born in the Dominican Republic and moved to Spain at age of 18. In 1965, he first launched his label while in New York. His Hispanic roots were obvious in his designs through the use of his vibrant colors. One of his gowns was even featured in HBO series Sex and the City, with character Carrie Bradshaw making reference to the style icon. First Lady Michelle Obama wore an Oscar de la Renta gown for the first time earlier this month. Saturday Night Live has a new cast member. NBC says it's adding one of its writers, Leslie Jones, to its cast, an African-American woman. Jones came to SNL in January after the show was criticized for the lack of its diversity. A mother in Fort Myers, Florida, is getting signatures for a petition to remove all Breaking Bad action figures from Toys R Us shelves. The petition can be found online at change.org and has more than 2,000 signatures so far. The mother says she enjoyed the show, but hopes to have all the figures removed.
Just to get those taken off the shelf and put them in an appropriate store.
Sales of the action figures are limited, and on the packaging it states the item is intended for ages 15 and up. Breaking Bad star Bryan Cranston responded to the mother's action through a tweet. He says he's mad. He says he's so mad he's burning his Florida mom action figure in protest. Now back to Katherine with sports.
Today is Game 1 of the World Series between the San Francisco Giants and the Kansas City Royals. The playoff game will kick off with Madison Bumgarner pitching for the Giants and James Shield for the Royals. San Francisco has made it clear that it will be a royal-free zone until after the World Series, with Bay Area radio stations banning the hit song Royals by singer-songwriter Lorde. In response, Kansas City has announced it will be playing the song every hour on the hour. The two wildcard teams will go face-to-face in Kansas City tonight just after 5 o'clock. Los Angeles is taking possible steps forward with the plans to bring an NFL team to the city. The LA Times reports beginning today the league will begin a formal market assessment of the LA area. Although nothing has been officially announced, several teams have expressed interest in the LA market. The St. Louis Rams, San Diego Chargers, and Oakland Raiders are all currently on year-to-year lease contracts. If an NFL team intends to relocate, it must inform the league during a 2-month window that opens at the end of the regular season. And now we will toss it to Matador News reporter Samantha Benitz, who has the latest on the Get Real Service Learning project.
I'm here with Jessica Bermudez, one of the student leaders of the Get Real Service Learning project. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you.
So let me start by asking, what exactly is the Get Real project and how does it involve students?
Well, 15 students from the journalism department are bringing awareness onto this campus because what the media, we have to see how the media affects body image, and we really want to show how the media affects body image, and because even the Nelson ratings, says that people are on the media 11 hours a day. 11 hours a day, that's a lot. I walk around this campus and everyone's in their phones. About 75% of the people are on their phones, and I wonder what they're looking at and how does it affect them? There's so many images that they're seeing a day, and exactly.
Yeah. That's so true. And I know the CSUN journalism department, they collaborated with Jade, and what exactly is their contribution to the program?
Well, Jade, 2 representatives come every week to our Thursday meetings, and they help with the events. Oh, we do have an event coming up. It's called the Storytelling Booth, which is this Friday, and we want students to come out to tell their experience on how the media affects their body image.
Excellent. Okay, and lastly, since photoshopping is so prevalent in the media, how do you feel this affects our society?
Well, like I said earlier, we see so many images a day, and these images are, most of the images we see are photoshopped, and you're bound to be thinking that they're reality. They're not reality. We have to separate reality from unrealistic images, and that's what we want to bring out to people. We want to bring awareness.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Jessica, for being here with us today, and back to you guys at the newsroom.
Thank you for watching. I'm Jose Saenz.
And I'm Randi Fries. Have a great day, Matadors.